What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 3 of METATalks podcast. This week, we're going to be talking about Stranger Things, Mulan, Lion King, Nintendo Switch Lite, and Spider-Man Far From Home.
Woo!
All right, let's get right into this. So, Stranger Things. Who watched Stranger Things here?
I watched Stranger Things.
I finally watched the first.
I can't hear you, but
season one.
I read a couple
of season 1.
Yes, season one.
You gotta give her
First
credit because
episode.
some people don't do that. Some people don't take the plunge and watch the first episode if they're getting into something.
That's a deep plunge.
That's true.
It is.
Well, actually, we should
What are you
ask
talking
Kari
about,
that.
dude?
Kari, what did you think about the first episode, season 1?
Oh, this is throwing
Well,
it back.
I don't know because I was watching it with my dad who wanted to watch it,
Okay.
and then he starts talking about what's happening, so I have to explain it. Then I have to go into freaking Wikipedia to explain it more to him, and then I need to watch it by myself.
Okay.
I think that's what happens when adults are watching these newer
But
shows.
so
They're
far,
like,
it is good.
yeah, it's good.
But anyway, the new season.
Let's talk about the current season.
Yeah,
So
how did
season
you guys feel like the way it
I liked
ended?
everything. I liked it from the ending. Stranger Things fashion, they left a lot of questions up in the air. Who's the American?
Oh, at the very, very end.
At the very, very
Yeah,
end.
yeah.
Yeah, and what happened to Hopper? There's all these different, and then now that the conspiracy is out, with the news that they were announcing, everything's kind of out in the open. So there's a lot of directions that they can go.
So do you think he died? Or do you think just something happened to him?
I mean,
Spoiler alert, if you guys haven't watched it yet.
Damn it.
we definitely didn't see him kind of get nuked from like the rest of the Russians that were in that scene. So and I think when they cut to it, when the machine was kind of going off, you didn't really see Harper there on the ledge. So that's some of the theories that are kind of going
So
around.
you guys are talking about
the
Hopper,
very last
that's the
episode.
cop, yeah.
So he died.
He died at the end.
Or that's like the mystery.
Yeah.
You don't know if he died.
What do you think, Jeremy?
It was an off-screen death. I think he's still alive because
He's in the upside down.
Well, I think he got transported to Russia. So if you watch till the very end, right, they show the end credit scene where you're in a secret base in Russia, and they're showing the Demogorgon right eating a person.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They also mention don't take the American.
But you have to understand that there was a 3-month jump from the
there
time.
is
So
3-month jump.
I mean, he could have not been teleported to Russia. He could have just been found and then brought to Russia in that 3 months.
Yeah, that's true. They could.
So how do you think he escaped then if the others couldn't escape?
I don't think he escaped. I think he was just taken to Russia somehow, right? Either
No, but I mean from that building where everyone got nuked.
Yeah, because he couldn't go past that one spinning laser.
And it's if there was a way to get out, how come these other people didn't get out
Well,
then?
you have to factor in the fact that he is Hellboy.
Yeah.
He is Hellboy.
he has plot armor. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it is. Yeah.
That's true.
8% Rotten Tomatoes Hellboy.
Dude, that movie was ass.
Couldn't pull it off.
That movie was terrible.
It kind of came and went.
Oh my god.
Oh, it didn't come, dude. It
Oh,
was
it-
so bad.
It did not come.
Just went.
It just went, dude.
Okay, so I guess another question for me is, do you guys think for a series to be really good or a movie, it takes a main character to die for people to make it seem like it's a really good show or movie?
That's kind of true, huh? I feel like every popular show in today's society requires a main character death, which
Yeah.
is kind
Someone
of
to
weird.
die.
You know who set the stage for that? Game of Thrones.
Oh, I thought you was gonna say Leonardo DiCaprio on Titanic.
Nah.
I'll never let go,
no,
Jack.
that
I'll never let go.
Definitely. Started
That started
That
the trend.
did. It's very emotional right there.
or Mufasa. You can throw it back that
yeah,
far.
yeah.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Oh,
Mufasa dies.
What? What?
What was that? 19?
He said, "Run away and never return."
Oh my god.
run away.
Right now or later?
Yeah. What do you guys
actually
think?
sound like the uncle.
Scar?
Yeah, he sound like Scar.
I hate
He
you.
sounds more like a hyena, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the stupid hyena that can't
Yeah.
like the one that's laughing.
Ed?
all the- Yeah, Ed. You're Ed. You're fucking Ed. No, but anyway.
Okay, as long as you're the Whoopi Goldberg one.
Yeah, I am, dude.
Okay.
Don't I kind of look like Whoopi though?
No, but going back to Stranger Things, do you guys think it would have been as good if Hopper didn't die?
Yeah.
I think it made it more tragic than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because Hopper is such a main character, right? You see him in seasons 1 and 2 growing from like this disgruntled chief of police to this caring
a hero.
Father to 11 in season 2, and then in season 3, you know, you kind of relate to him because he's like the overprotective father who's just trying to protect his daughter, and then he dies at the end, or supposedly dies at the
Why
end.
you laugh like that?
What's funny about that, huh?
He died.
He's like, I can relate. I'm a father.
Well, he died a tragic death. Yeah, I mean, you know.
You know, for me, I like, because we know that the girl that plays 11, the actress herself, was saying that she doesn't want to be in Stranger Things anymore.
Do we know
so
that?
I was kind of like thinking that she was gonna die.
Yeah, actually, many times when she was choking, I
Yeah.
was like, "This is it. She's
Yep.
gonna die."
What? Is it confirmed that she's coming back for all 5 seasons, or?
There's gonna be 5.
Yeah, that's what the
no, they
director
extended to
said.
the 5 seasons. So
Yeah.
the theory is that the next season is probably going to be set on Christmas, because that's the time that everyone's going to come back together. Because Mike kind of prefaces it with that. But there's going to be, they ordered 2 more seasons for Stranger Things.
Yep.
Well, hopefully she sticks to it, because did you guys see Godzilla?
Was it bad? Was it bad? I didn't see it.
Ass.
But I heard it set the stage
came
for
and went.
King Kong.
It came and went.
It went.
It just
It went.
It just went.
I heard it set the stage for King Kong versus Godzilla, though.
I don't know.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Maybe. I mean, it's supposed to be a trilogy.
I mean, I watched it but fell asleep 3 times.
Oh
so.
shit, really?
Yeah.
Like you legit fell asleep?
I only woke up when Godzilla was fighting.
Well, were you sleeping or resting your eyes?
That's
Were
what
you
Mike does.
resting your eyes?
Mike rests his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Mike,
like,
you awake? I'm awake.
3 hours later, he's
bet
like,
you-
"No, I'm resting my
I bet
eyes."
you a lot of people do that. My dad says that, I'm resting my eyes. I'm like, I'm going to turn off the TV. Don't turn off the TV. I'm resting my eyes. That's my dad does that all the time.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
I'm
to it.
listening.
Do you guys think there's like, I think there's a very thin line between shows just needlessly killing off their main characters to like try to be like, oh yeah, no character is safe, and then beyond that is like an actual reason for the character dying, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Like some characters just kill off characters because it's the thing to do now. Do you think that Hopper's death was kind of like that? Was like they were following that trend, like, oh, well, we need a death, so Hopper.
Well, the thing was, Billy died too at this, like almost like within a couple of minutes. So the
Spoiler
thing,
alert.
Sorry, spoiler.
But I didn't care about
everything
him
was
as much
spoiler.
as I cared about Hopper, though.
Right, but I mean, the I think what they wanted to do.
Which
was
one's
kinda
Billy? Sorry.
Billy is the guy with the
He's the
mohawk,
brother of Max, the redheaded
brother of
girl.
Max.
Oh,
He was
the
infested-
dickhead.
Yeah, dickhead. That
Okay.
douche.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
the guy who was infected. But I mean, you know, I guess because he was kind of like thrown in season 2, and then you kind of saw him, and then in season 3 he became like the main bad guy, right? It was kind of like, oh, well, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to kind of connect to him because he was actually really a bad guy the whole time.
Well, honestly, I connected to him the most because just very muscular and cigarettes.
Did you
and
even watch
badass-
it?
And badass.
I didn't see you raise your hand.
and he was a.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I watched
was
season
walking down
2. Dude, he had his shirt
a pool
off. He
scene.
was a lifeguard.
It was a pool scene.
You know you're talking about a man, right?
He was tan.
Yeah.
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 You know he's a man.
You know he's
And
man.
did he have a Jerry curl?
Hashtag Bang
He
Burrows.
did.
Yeah, that was dude. When I turn, can you guys hear me well?
Huh?
When I turn my head like that,
And I look back at it and let me know.
I hate you, dude. All right, what's our next topic? Are you guys done with Stranger Things?
Talking about changing things.
Changing
what about
things.
Mulan? How they're changing it up? You know, they're taking out Mushu,
Well,
the cricket.
Buddy, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fact that they're changing everything and not doing music and they're taking away Mushu and shit. But also,
I just said that.
Kari has. I'm working, dude.
Oh,
Let me work
okay.
up to
He's
something.
like, let me build it up.
You don't have to sum me up. I just said
Well,
it.
I do need to sum you up.
Okay.
Sometimes.
I heard that.
What Kari has some controversy to talk about with Mulan, so there might be a reason why these things aren't being added to the outside of being respectful
Yeah.
to Chinese tradition, which is I think is a great thing, you know, being culturally
I
appropriate.
like how you look at, you know.
Well,
Jeremy
because you know,
Jim, are you Asian?
Hey, wait, are you sleeping or
Is your
are
eyes
you
open?
awake? Oh,
here.
we're all
He's
Asian.
just
here.
resting his eyes.
It's fine. We're the Asian podcast. But anyway, Kari, take it away.
I'm not Asian.
Well, you're technically Asian.
You're here with us.
Okay, let's Kari.
Yeah,
take it
Kari,
away.
carry on.
I don't know what I think about this whole Mulan thing. I wouldn't call it a remake.
Don't call it a
Would you guys call it a
I don't
remake?
think it's a remake.
I don't think it's a
I feel like
remake.
it's almost like a redo.
Don't call
I
it a
think
comeback.
Disney shouldn't even be calling it a remake.
Yeah.
Because they're not remaking it from, the animated version.
It's just
Right.
based loosely on what the animated Mulan was.
But Kari has a
based on.
point because Lion King was like a direct remake. You know,
Which is
Aladdin
fine,
was a
in my
direct
opinion.
remake. And why is it that they changed the formula all of a sudden with Mulan?
Well, so the main reason was because they wanted to be more culturally appropriate to the traditional Chinese Ballad of Mulan, which is what the animated one was supposed to be based on. But the Chinese people thought it was very disrespectful the way that they portrayed the Huns, for one. For two, the fact that there was like no talking dragon, there was no Mushu in the Ballad of Mulan, and there was no singing. It wasn't like a. But the animated movie was targeted to children, obviously, and it pulled that off very well. Like it's one of the, in my opinion, it's one of the best Disney animated movies.
Oh yeah.
But it was very disrespectful to the Chinese culture. I mean, in my opinion.
I feel like a lot of movies, though, in general, somebody always has something to say about.
Of course.
I think more so in this day and age.
And I had no idea until I did some research, honestly. But Kari,
But
explain.
do you think Disney would even care?
Right, which leads us
Do you think
into
they care to really give in to the Chinese people and then do a culturally appropriate movie?
Yeah, what
yes,
changed?
because Chinese audience make a lot of money off of the Chinese audiences in China.
True. That is one
That's
argument
probably
for
like
that.
the main reason why they're doing this is because when they display in China, they want to appease the Chinese audience, and therefore they have to do all of this work.
What is it though? Kari, read that. Hold up. This is huge, dude. This
I
is
saw
crazy.
this on Instagram. I'm not sure where they got their source or if they work in Disney or something and they know about this, but I saw someone's comment regarding the whole, music, the singing being taken out of the movie and only having the instrumentals of all the songs. This person commented saying that they're only changing it because they don't own the rights to the characters and songs.
Oh, really?
Because they sold them to a former employee, Jeffrey Katzenberg. If you don't know him,
research behind that or no?
well, if you don't know
She did research.
who Jeffrey
Nice,
is,
she got the
I
tea.
googled him. He's really big. Right now, he's like the co-founder and CEO of DreamWorks. He used to work with Disney before. So he kind of he was in the whole planning of having Pixar and Disney being merged together. So he was part of that.
Damn.
So he did a lot of animated movies. He was there, and then somehow they had a riff.
Yeah.
And saying that he's taking too much credit with all the Disney movies and blah blah blah, all like that. So they said in a lawsuit, instead of giving him 2% of the earnings from Aladdin and Lion King that he asked for.
What?
Yeah. So don't believe for a second a mega corporation is generally caring about, respecting.
That's the spin, right? That's the
So
spin.
instead of giving him the 2% of those movies that he allegedly, I mean, I don't know, we tried to research it. This is all alleged.
It might be kept underground.
Right.
They don't want it because Disney, they don't want a lot
They
of
can keep anything from surfacing.
Keep anything. They can keep anything.
Makes sense.
Instead of giving him the 2%, what
Yeah.
happened allegedly is that Disney gave him the rights to
Mulan.
certain Mulan characters and songs.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
So
Because he did come out with a 250 million settlement.
Wow.
Because he did. There was.
And
a
that means
lawsuit
he
involved.
kind of won a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe that might be part of it of why they're not.
It's they don't want to deal with the whole
Yeah.
resurfacing, but they have to since they're in the planning of remaking all these movies.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
But
that's super interesting, though.
Yeah.
Like,
It
if
is.
that's true, if Disney doesn't own the rights to the songs and characters, and that's why they aren't using it in the remake, that
Makes
is
sense.
insane,
then
dude.
of course I'll back off on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll back off on that.
I mean, I
but-
think she's a girl worth fighting for.
Yeah.
She is definitely, and
She is. But
that movie will definitely make a man out of me.
Yes.
Yes,
And me.
Reflection.
And me.
And that's all copywritten.
yeah.
TM.
Oops. TM.
Sponsored by Disney.
Then also too, the director behind this whole Mulan movie, I don't know, she's just white, so we'll leave it there.
Well, they do have a very ethnic. I'll say ethnic. They do have a very culturally diverse crew working on the remake. Obviously, it's very traditional. It's very Jeremy. I guess
From your homeland.
one could say it's very Jeremy, because you are
The
Asian.
no.
Oh, there you're gonna say happy.
Chinese.
Chinese.
Oh, there it is, dude. That's what I was trying to say.
Sorry.
And I think they're going to do a great job with this Ballad of Mulan. I think it's kind of weird that they're calling it a live-action remake because it's not a remake at all. It's like an original movie, basically.
Like a reimagining.
Yeah, it's a reimagining of the Ballad of Mulan.
I'm like wondering what happened to the first girl they casted for Mulan.
Who was the
Did
first
they
girl?
release someone else?
Who was the
Yeah,
person?
this is way back.
Oh.
So this is a whole new different girl from what they had casted.
She said, "I'm not going to be singing." Oh no, it's okay then.
She was like, "Wait, no."
I signed up for
I feel
singing
most
in this
comfortable when I
movie.
sing in my movies.
She was like, "No, Mushu. Okay, all right, see ya."
Wait, I have to fight? Yeah, to do karate.
Isn't it there a certain kind of film that they're trying to replicate, like a Chinese film? What is it called? It starts with a W. I forget.
A W. I know it kind of reminds me of a lot of like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah,
and
that kind of
also
film.
House of Flying Daggers or something like that.
Yeah, it's like a way. I forget what it's called. It's a certain kind of Chinese filmography or like videography that is very it's very focused on cinematography and wide shots of huge battles and like mountain
that kind of makes sense. I mean, just looking at the previews, it looks like it's
that
they show
kind of
the
thing.
war, right?
Yep.
They show her flipping around over warriors.
I
and
just
It's
hope
that
the
kind of movie.
matchmaking scene is perfect.
Dude, is Cricky in the movie? That's all I
I
care
know.
about.
No.
I want
He's
Cricky,
not.
dude.
I just think it's interesting that the director's not even Asian.
That is interesting,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Like you guys are talking about all these like
Well-
traditional like how they make their movies.
Yeah.
And
Well,
she's
like-
not even Asian.
And then in the animated version, they're not having her love interest in there.
No,
They
she
ha-
has
Yeah, they
one.
don't have
She has a
Shake.
different one.
Yeah.
And then this is
Mulan?
where me and
Really?
Quincy, we did look up who this love interest is.
Oh yeah,
Apparently, it's is it the boyfriend
the boyfriend.
to the director?
Okay.
So-
All right,
Yeah,
buddy.
kinda-
Oh,
Interesting.
yeah.
That's well, we'll see how it works out.
Well, going back to what we were talking about, I hope this main character dies because then it'll be probably a good movie.
Right.
Oh my
Hey,
gosh.
they're just following the trend of
Yeah,
cinematography.
You're right. You're
It's
right.
nowadays
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
cinematography.
Or maybe she's in Russia.
Like Brandon said, we kind of expect that.
That'd be
you know?
perfect
So
for set up for Mulan too, right?
Mulan 2. Mulan
Mulan
is
2.
dead in Russia.
She got transported.
She got transported to Russia.
Mulan 2, Mushu will finally show up.
Oh my gosh, dude. Elder Dragon.
Yeah, but let's talk about Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yeah, so we're a couple weeks late on that, but I mean, we didn't get to talk about it last week because of 4th of July. But so the movie came out. We didn't get to talk about it last week. Mike saw it beforehand, so he kind of knew. I loved it.
I loved it
I
too.
know I was talking about it having bad reviews, but I loved it. Did you guys all watch Spider-Man? You watch Spider-Man?
You did
No,
not.
I didn't get a chance yet.
okay, move the mic. Did you watch Spider-Man?
No.
Take the mic away from him.
Well, I guess we don't have Marvel fans here.
No, I didn't.
Wait, did you read the Wikipedia?
No.
No synopsis.
It wasn't worth it. No, I'm joking.
Well, for you guys, I'm going to straight up say that you guys should go watch it because it was a great movie.
How dare you?
But, I mean, you saying that the only thing that I want to comment on about your reaction is that you said that the post-credit scene was going to be, like, mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Well, that was the
He
comment
straight up said, "Oh, by the way, it's Peter Parker with a picture."
with the I can't believe they had a picture.
I can't believe
That's
they did
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
So everybody knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man now.
No. Oh, yeah. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like,
Right.
And who cares?
Mind blown.
what?
Everybody knew that Tony Stark was Iron Man.
Watch out. Hold on. So, like, it was mind blowing, right? That they did that, right?
I mean, it was mind blowing in the sense that Spider-Man always valued his identity. You know, that was the only reason why he never came out in the public. I mean, that was the whole premise behind the whole episode because, you know, he wanted to keep his life separate, right, from his friends and to keep, you know, the identity of Spider-Man a secret because he didn't want to put his friends in danger. I mean, that's pretty much the only thing that he wanted to do. But they say that it was setting up for the Sinister Six because when you watch the ending credit for Homecoming, you see the Scorpion, right? And they're like, oh, I know who he is. So I think in the Spider-Man world with Sony, his identity is more important because, you know, he has a lot at risk. Like, there's a lot of friends at risk. There's a lot of family at risk. And I think that's the only reason why it was such a dramatic point of them knowing that it was Peter Parker. But
Because even in the other Spider-Man movies, he was never revealed that he was Spider-Man. So
Close.
to have a movie now where everybody knows he's Spider-Man. It's like now I wonder what direction the movie's gonna take now.
Yeah, because
you can't hide from it now.
Well, if you could see, like, you know, like he could go and be a part of Civil War and be a part of, you know, Avengers Infinity War, all those, like he could make those appearances and then go back to school and then watch it as a bystander and be like, oh, hey, all that stuff. But he could never be like, oh, that was me, because he always had his identity hidden.
Yeah. So I guess he's forced into being a full-time Avenger now.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah. So in the comics, do you know if the Sinister Six ever revealed him to the public? Was that what happened?
No, I don't think they ever did.
No, I don't think anyone did. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. But what about the post credit scene, the one where
yeah, where do you think he is?
I think he's chilling in space, dude.
No, but where?
Oh,
with the scroll,
like nowhere? Do you think he's nowhere?
What do you mean nowhere? Like in
Guardians of the Galaxy.
the upside down?
No, in Guardians of the Galaxy, you know where nowhere is?
Oh yeah.
Do you think like
upside down?
I don't know.
Upside down?
He's in the
He's in Russia.
Wait, you talking about me or the movie?
He's gonna put Mike in the upside down.
No, I want to be upside down.
Dude. Hopper's there. Freaking Nick Fury's there.
Mulan's gonna be there apparently.
Scarlet Witch gonna be there.
I thought the scroll was gonna be. I thought it was gonna set up for Secret Wars.
Yeah, that's what, because some of the scrolls in Secret Wars were hidden as heroes, right?
Well, that was like the whole basis of Secret Wars, right? Was that the Skrull were like coming and they were taking over the identities of all the heroes,
yeah.
And then like the heroes were having to fight other heroes, and like
they
didn't know who was who,
yeah.
And Spider-Man was in the middle of that, trying to figure out like what the heck to do. So I thought that was gonna be
the storyline,
the premise of that. When I first saw that Nick Fury was a Skrull, I was like, oh, dude, like that's gonna be crazy. But then Fury's working with them.
Skrull,
he's chilling.
Right?
Like he's giving them commands.
A lot of people are making theories that he was like you don't know which movies after Captain Marvel where he was Nick Fury and he wasn't Nick Fury. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of people are speculating. It's like because he encountered the Skrulls right during Captain Marvel, right, all the way back then. They're like, oh, which was Nick Fury at the time, and how long ago was he like a Skrull or not a Skrull? In which movies, right?
Yeah.
So that could change the whole thing of the MCU.
Well,
I didn't even think of that.
I didn't think about that either, but also I don't think I don't know, because the whole reason why he was saying like, oh yeah, we don't have anybody, we have nobody to contact, and none of the other Avengers are available, was because he wasn't actually Nick Fury, so he couldn't call them. But in all the other movies, he had the Avengers. So
yeah,
I think maybe.
Well, it was weird because in the movie they referenced like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't say hi to you at the funeral," and you're like, "Whoa, you didn't say hi." I mean, well, it's hard to tell because if that guy was a Skrull during Spider-Man: Far From Home and he was at the funeral, was Nick Fury at the funeral
in Endgame?
In Endgame, right? So. There's a lot of those like things
I see.
Like people are dropping things like hints and stuff that.
Wow.
Yeah, it kind of blows your mind a little bit.
Interesting to think about, for sure.
So,
yeah.
But I mean, like the Spider-Man: Far From Home, like entire movie was great. I think having like the different, like something other than America was really great. And then I think the relationship between, is it MJ?
Yeah.
MJ, with MJ
Zendaya.
So I think the relationship was really well put together. You know,
yeah, it was a good movie.
Did you agree with the comments? Because remember you were talking about the comments before when you're like how people were saying it was like a teenage drama movie or whatever you said. Do you agree with them now that you saw it?
Like a teenage movie.
Like a teenage movie.
That's a good question. Well, the thing for me is that when it's like a really good superhero movie, or I guess just a really good movie in general, I forget about everything that's going on in the theater. Like that's like the sign that I'm really like, this is a great movie. Mm-hmm. And for me, I totally like forgot that I was in a movie theater. Like I was totally absorbed in the movie because sometimes my ADD, I have like a flare up of my ADD and I'm just like looking around, like looking at people eating their popcorn.
This is how Brandon watches movies.
Yeah, for Spider-Man, I was like invested, dude. I was like totally focused.
What are you doing?
Oh, my ADD's kicking off.
Sorry.
What were you looking at?
I was curious what was in your pocket.
Oh, okay.
It keeps popping up.
It's
keeps popping up.
It's me now.
Bang bros.
Anyway, sorry.
Bang bros.
You're an idiot.
We should sit together more often. That's what I recommend.
Bang bros. Yeah. No, I totally disagree with the comments that were saying that it's just a high school comedy. It was really funny, and Ned's relationship with that girl was hilarious. And
I
it
like
definitely targeted a lot of humor. But dude, it was totally a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Happy was great. Spider-Man's fight scenes were incredible. The CGI was insane. They totally took it to a next level with CGI, in my opinion. Like, we've never seen CGI like that. That was
everything
crazy.
looked real.
Especially that Mysterio scene when he was fighting Mysterio and he was like going through
and
like
everything was just like the surroundings
it was
were
crazy.
just changing around him as he was fighting Mysterio, and he was just running into walls. And
Yeah.
shit.
They did a good job of jumping back and forth between the real and then it's like fake, then real, and you're like, oh shoot, what the heck's going on?
Yeah.
It was crazy, dude.
Yeah.
So I really felt like they did a great job portraying Mysterio, which is a classic Spider-Man villain, of course.
Yeah.
And I think it was a great installment of Spider-Man. It was a great Spider-Man film. I think it was one of my favorites, like, in the Spider-Man universe. Like,
okay, so do you think it was better than Spider-Man 2?
I haven't watched Spider-Man 2 in so long. I can't really give you like a solid answer to that.
That's like everyone's question right now, like online.
They're comparing it.
Yeah, because they say that Spider-Man 2 was like one of the greatest Spider-Man movies.
Well, what was
made.
the like general consensus on Spider-Man 1 for both of them?
What do you mean?
So like, did people like Homecoming more than they liked Tobey Maguire's first Spider-Man?
Oh, I don't know.
Most people,
Because
That wasn't an argument.
yeah, it's just the second one is like one of the best ones.
that's
yeah.
the proving one.
Yeah,
The proving grounds.
and that was the one that he fought Dr. Octopus. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember, man. I can't give you a good answer of that. I just know, like, in my mind that I really liked this one. That's all I can say.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Lion King then.
Okay.
Come
Yeah,
on,
it's
we
coming
know
out
it.
this week. Coming out this week.
Are we guessing the theme song to it?
Not you, Jeremy. So okay, let's.
Ouch! Drop the mic.
Boom. Wait, Jeremy. Do you want the entire menu, or do you just want the grand slam she just from Denny's? Did she just because she just handed you a grand slam?
Grand Slam.
Okay.
He's done.
Wait,
He's
so let's
done.
just turn away from him.
Hey, can we mute this?
Yeah, mute him. There's some
You're gonna mute me.
Oh, yeah.
Take the grand
Then
slam.
you guys gotta share. You guys
Take the
gotta
grand
start
slam.
sharing
Snap my
mics.
fingers. Gone.
Dust them.
Anyway,
Flip 'em.
so Lion King is coming out this week.
So a lot of
Yes.
people are saying about Lion King right now is that they're saying it's very visually stunning and it's a good movie, but it doesn't bring anything new to the table. So some people are not that happy with it, which I don't understand because I wouldn't want it to be changed anyways.
I kind of
From what I got
yeah.
from what they're saying is that the movie is like scene for scene, but just live action.
I think
That's fine with.
I think it's
That's
more,
fine for me.
Just move it closer to the head, please.
He's holding your head for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Mouth wide open, closer to the head, is what he said. Okay, go ahead, Kari.
Wait, mouth?
What? This is Lion King we're talking about.
I don't think I can bleep out that whole thing.
Dang, bros.
I can't bleep out that. All right, Kari, what is your thoughts?
Because I think from watching the trailers and hearing other people's reactions about, watching the movie, it's saying that the animals, you can't really have them do much expressions as the animated version.
Animated, yeah.
Oh.
And as I
Like
was
facial
watching, so when
expressions.
I was watching like the trailers, and then they also had like clips of them singing too, it's kind of like, yeah, you can't really see much expressions on.
That's okay because I thought Jungle Book was dope.
I never watched Jungle Book.
I
so.
don't watch
What?
Jungle Book either.
What have
Did
you
you watch
watched,
Jumbo?
Carrie? Yeah.
No,
We should
you know what?
just have
Don't tell
we
me.
should have a
Don't
live
tell
movie,
me.
live movie marathon. Is that what we're going to do?
She said it was Jungle, but it wasn't book.
This is the mic we like, not podcast mic.
Jungle.
Jungle.
Fever?
Oh, my.
Anyway.
So, wait, PG?
She said, you guys are so dumb.
I hate
Yeah,
this
but that's
podcast.
what the reviews I was hearing from other people was just the facial expressions,
Yeah,
not as
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, what I want out of a live action remake is the effing animated movie.
The same.
Exactly the same, but with better graphics and looking like it's real, which is what they're giving us. So I have no problem with it, dude. I can't wait.
But we did, me and Quincy did listen to the Beyonce.
soundtrack.
Can you feel the love
Yeah.
tonight?
Yeah.
I heard it.
Because they released it
Yeah.
like a few days ago, and it was actually pretty good. It
They
wasn't even that
released it
bad.
so-
Oh, it's
Soundtrack.
Beyonce.
I think what was interesting was who's playing Pumbaa again?
Seth Rogen.
Seth
Seth
Rogen,
Rogen,
yeah.
yeah. So they're really just talking it, right? They're talking
Yeah.
the
Because we were like
lyrics.
comparing it. We listened to the original, and then we listened
Yeah.
to the new one. We are just kind of like comparing it.
Right. Yeah,
But I thought Beyonce did a great job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Beyonce
And Childish
did
Gambino, too,
awesome.
Yeah, I thought Beyonce did a really good job.
Yeah, I think the major differences were like Disney definitely the animated version makes it a little bit more singing style, and then when it comes to the live action, like it almost sounds like a soundtrack, like they're singing.
Okay.
Yeah. It sounds like like Reflection in when you think about Reflection in the animated series or Christina Aguilar singing, Reflection. Like it sounds more like a soundtrack, like a live soundtrack.
Cool.
Yeah, because it has the talking.
Yeah, it has the talking.
Yeah.
So, and of course it has the Beyonce and everybody.
Beyonce.
Yeah, Beyonce.
Beyonce.
The Beehive is in full effect.
Yeah. Marching band status.
Dude, okay, so something that I heard that was freaking super cool that blew my mind. I was watching Jimmy Kimmel. And the director, or I guess director and executive producer, Jon Favreau, the guy who did Lion King and Iron Man and Avengers and everything in the world.
And he was in Spider-Man Far From Home.
and Happy in Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Anyway, so he was in charge of everything. And what he said, dude, this was crazy. He said that for all of the actors and all of the crew to make Lion King as like incredible as they could as far as the scenery goes and the experience, they built a video game, a virtual reality video game of Pride Rock and of the world of Lion King.
Sure.
And they allowed all of the actors to go into virtual reality and explore Pride Rock so that they had an understanding.
Is this a hint of a new ride?
Is this available?
Is this a new ride at Disneyland?
Right?
I'm trying to ride
It's like
Pride Rock.
New video game coming out.
After
No,
the
it's a
podcast.
new ride for Disneyland.
Right, yeah.
Text me.
We're all talking about that
I want
Disneyland.
that.
Dude, I was tripping out. He was like, yeah, so we got to go into Pride Rock and explore and see like what we could do as far as shadows go and like how the animal interaction would like work in certain angles. And I was like, hold up. You guys went into Pride Rock and explored?
Yeah.
What? That's crazy. So
That's how you get into character.
yeah, if you guys are able to rewatch that segment with Jon Favreau on Jimmy Kimmel Live, it was awesome. And he also said that Timon and Pumbaa, most of the entire like time that they're in the movie, all of their voice lines they didn't record in a studio.
Oh.
Like so usually when they record like an animated voiceover like a live action, they're in a studio with a mic and they're just reading off a script. For Timon and Pumbaa, he said that they actually went into a theater, like an empty theater with acoustics and everything, and they just read off like their lines.
Yeah.
But interacting with each other and like walking around and like kind of acting out their interactions in the movie. So it was all improv. They were
Oh,
just
I feel
really?
like that's so much better because then you start to like feed off of them.
Yeah. The
Instead of
energy.
just talking to a mic and then you're just reading your lines.
Right.
Because you're going to have to do it how many times. But this, at least you're talking to somebody, feeding off their energy,
Right.
and it becomes just more
Bantery.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with Timon and Pumbaa, they're very bantery,
Yeah.
right? Back and forth, talking to each other.
So I'm really excited to see that synergy.
I would have been like, F the theater. Let's really go to Pride Rock.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Go
Put
to
that
Africa
helmet
and
on,
record
boy.
that
Let's
shit.
do this.
I
Ticket
wouldn't
includes
laugh. I wouldn't
ticket
laugh.
includes trip to Pride Rock.
Do you think they were in character, like just like roaming around?
Oh, that would be
That
so
would
weird to see
Beyonce. I want to see
Beyonce.
that Beyonce.
I want to see that. Beyonce
I
rolling
paid
on
tickets
the
for
ground.
that.
I think everybody
Oh.
does.
Oh.
Jungle Fever.
Sign me up for that too.
Crazy.
I have to make a fast pass for that.
Yeah, I'd go.
I want the slow pass.
Oh my.
Okay. Okay.
Mike is canceled, dude. That's that.
What?
Huh?
No, we didn't talk about the Nintendo Switch Lite.
No, I'm saying that's that. You're canceled.
Yeah.
You're
You're
canceled.
canceled.
Oh,
Oh, Jeremy's already canceled.
You're canceled.
No,
but
you're
in
canceled.
the
Jeremy doesn't even have a
upside
mic.
down.
Yeah, no, Kari.
I know you can't cancel.
But
me.
You're
is
upside down.
monopolized.
You're
Watch out.
upside down.
Watch out.
Okay. Oh well.
She's monopolizing
You're in
that
the
bitch.
upside down, Mike.
I'm saying you can't cancel me.
You're in the upside down with Harper and Mulan. I love that running joke.
Wait, what Disney movies? Sorry, totally sidetracked. But it just popped into my head.
Was it Little Mermaid?
No.
We all know how you feel about Little
Yeah,
Mermaid.
we
okay.
know.
Yeah.
You gotta stay tuned to episode 2, right?
Yeah. Go back to episode 2 and see how Mike loves Ariel's casting.
There's the unedited version and then there's the uncut version.
Loves it. But
Bonus feature.
what Disney movies have they not live action remade that like classics? Which ones have they not
guess-
done yet?
Was that
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Didn't they do?
They
Oh, I
did
got-
Snow
they
White
did
and the Huntsman,
Huntsman.
Yeah.
but not
But that
Snow White
wasn't-
and the Seven
That
Dwarfs.
wasn't. It's not officially Disney,
Yeah.
right?
But that's a
did
good
it.
movie. I like the one with Chris Hemsworth.
Is Maleficent?
Yeah, that's
Well,
Disney.
that's off
That's
Sleeping
Disney.
Beauty though.
Yeah.
It's a
Sleeping Beauty.
spinoff, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
It's great.
What else is there? Oh no, they already did Beauty and the Beast. which I like.
They didn't do.
They didn't do Fox and the Hound.
Oh my.
They didn't do any of the new ones like.
They didn't do Bambi either.
Like Up or Wally.
Oh no, I'm talking about like old ones.
The old classic ones.
Classics.
They didn't do. They didn't do
They didn't do
Pinocchio.
Lady and the Tramp.
Wait, is that Disney?
They can do
Yeah,
Lady and the
Pinocchio's
Tramp.
Disney.
Yeah.
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 I don't
no,
want to see that.
They
to be
did
honest.
101 Dalmatians.
They did that.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Live action?
Yeah, a long time ago
was
though.
It, was it a Disney one?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Disney.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I would like to see an original Alice in Wonderland, not the one that they remade with
Like
Johnny Depp. Like
an
it was
actual-
okay.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one.
But
was
the
like-
one that like followed like the
The
actual
animated.
classic movie
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
with the two little fat guys, Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
You could be one of them.
I was about to say you too.
Oh yeah.
No. Yeah. Oh yeah, he could. He'd be the tall, skinny
That's
one.
rude, man. I
Yeah.
have a complex.
It's all right. We'll figure
So
it out.
what's after Mulan? Mulan, Lion King.
Dumbo. Wait,
They already did
already
Dumbo.
go?
Pocahontas.
Oh, Pocahontas.
Pocahontas.
And they might cast a Chinese girl. Who knows? No, I'm just joking.
Okay.
But
Yeah. Okay.
but I mean, on the track they're going.
Oh,
dude,
the
I don't know.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
You could play that.
You can. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can see
yeah.
you.
Or Quincy.
No.
No. You couldn't be Quasimodo.
No way.
Oh, I thought he was gonna be one of the gargoyles.
Wow.
But then it
Well,
wouldn't
at
be
least I'm editing
realistic,
it,
so
so I
they're
can
gonna
cut that
change that
out.
for sure too.
Jeremy could be Pinocchio, dude.
Did they do a live
Could be.
version
I
of
could be a
Pinocchio?
real boy for once.
Did they do a live version of Pinocchio?
No.
Oh.
But Pinocchio was wooden.
You know what else is?
He's
never mind.
Chinese.
Tell me.
Anyway, so the Nintendo Switch Lite.
Wait, there's more Disney movies that they didn't make.
I can't think of any
I can't think of any either.
except
But
for like the
wait,
new
wait.
ones, like Tangled.
Speaking of Disney, what about Christina Aguilera being in the DC,
Oh, universe.
yeah.
As
Not
what?
DC,
Not DC
but
Universe.
Disney Universe.
Oh wait, what is she gonna play as?
Yeah,
I thought she was already
No.
in the Disney
They're
universe.
So
they're
others-
awarding people
Oh, that's
for their
right.
their
Oh,
recognition of what they contributed to.
What does she do?
It's the Disney Hall of Fame, basically.
Yeah.
She just.
Oh, Reflections
sang
from
Reflection.
Mulan?
That's it, right?
Yeah. It's just Mulan and a Musketeer.
A Mouseketeer?
Yeah.
She was
What's a Mouseketeer?
Oh my.
in whatchamacall
Oh,
that
the
movie?
The Mickey Mouse
Yeah,
Club.
the Mickey Mouse one.
Club. Oh yeah, she was
with
an
Justin
Oscar.
Timberlake,
Oh
Britney
yeah.
She's OG, man. She's OG.
Spears, and with her Robert Downey Jr.
What?
Okay, well,
This
yeah,
year.
well, he's Iron
because
Man.
of Iron
He's
Man.
Iron
But
Man.
I don't understand why Tom Hanks is not part of it.
Yeah.
Who's Tom Hanks? I mean, what is he?
Toy Story.
Toy Story.
Toy Story wasn't
character?
originally Disney though when it first
He's
came out.
Woody?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm embarrassed.
But
that I
Toy
know
Story
that.
wasn't Disney when it
And do
first
you know
came
who
out.
Buzz Lightyear is?
I do. The actor, the voice actor.
Yeah.
Who?
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen.
See, Tim Allen's in it.
Yeah, I
He's-
believe.
He's in the
Oh.
Disney Hall of Fame. But
Well, he
not
did
Tom
a lot of
Hanks.
Christmas movies. Maybe
Yeah.
Santa Claus. Was that Disney?
But I'm like Christina Aguilera.
She's a good singer.
Then,
And she did
then why
Reflections.
don't you put Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears in
Britney
it
Spears,
too?
yeah.
Why don't
Well,
they change
well-
Little Mermaid? But we're not going to get that right.
Well,
We're not going to get it.
Just one thing that
Recast.
I'm trying to hit Sonic the Hedgehog on that movie. You know what I'm saying?
I see staring straight.
You know, I would consider her being it if
Back
she's
at me.
singing in the real Mulan.
Which
Yeah.
they have no songs.
Turn around. Look at what you see.
Nintendo Lite? Nintendo Lite. Nintendo Lite.
Nintendo Lite, dude.
Okay, so are you guys gamers here? Are you guys gamers here?
Yeah.
I guess you could classify
I can see
me
Kari
as a
buying it
gamer.
for Pokemon, the new Pokemon.
Do you play Pokemon?
Yeah.
You look like you play Pokemon,
Which version did you play? Nah.
and not just the trading card game.
Yeah.
I had the red
Red
version
and blue.
back then.
had
I think I seen you
Red and
downstairs when they have those card game and board game days. I was like, oh shit, that's Kari over there.
Jeremy looks like he dresses up as fucking Pikachu and runs around.
In
I was
a
gonna say
onesie.
Jigglypuff. Ditto.
Oh.
Dude,
Copy everyone. Is that what it is?
he's a fucking chameleon, bro.
He's a
Isn't
chameleon.
there like a Pokemon that's like a chameleon?
Ditto.
Ditto.
No,
No,
like
an actual chameleon.
Oh.
Yeah. I forget what it's camellia is
Yeah.
on. Chameleon.
Okay, but anyways,
anyway,
Generation.
so the Nintendo Lite, Nintendo Switch Lite, is basically strictly portable. Doesn't go on your TV.
Which
It's
is
gonna be
kinda
$100 cheaper. The Joy Cons can't like come off or anything, so it's a
Detach.
dedicated like handheld system. So I think it's definitely gonna like overpower like
So
the
it's
DS.
basically just a
Yeah.
bigger version of the Game Boy.
Well, it's kind of like a PS
Yeah,
Vita, right?
just,
What
yeah,
are you
just
talking
think of it
about,
like a
like PS
handheld
Vita?
Yeah.
like DS,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that plays Switch games.
Is it the same size as a PS Vita?
No. It's the same size as the Switch.
No, it's a little bit
it's not too
smaller.
bad.
A little bit
It's
smaller.
A little bit smaller.
Yeah, so the screen is about an inch smaller.
Okay.
I think it's like
just
6.6
trying to make money.
inches.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can do everything that the Switch
5
does. You can
inches.
play with other people.
It just doesn't.
plays all the
remove-
Switch
You can't
games.
remove the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, for some people, they don't even do it anyways. Some people are
True,
just
so
play it
it's just
dedicatedly
lugging- it's
handheld.
lugging
Some
more.
people don't have TVs, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
There you
people
go.
don't have.
Okay.
But I think it
That
definitely
didn't come
caters to like a general audience who are not hardcore gamers. So like I said, like for Kari, like if a game did come out on the Switch and she's like, I do kind of want to play that, or even Jeremy,
Yeah.
it's like I'll spend the $200 to buy a system that plays the games and you can take it anywhere you want.
I think
you
for
know?
that and maybe younger kids. I don't know.
Yeah.
And can we
probably.
talk about how Jeremy seems like the kind of guy to probably play like interactive dog petting game?
Totally.
Where he just
you know,
pets
and
dogs.
even Cooking Mama, you know.
Remember the one for the
Cooking
DS
Mama
where you
was
had to like pet
awesome.
them?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. That seems like Jeremy's kind of
Yeah.
game.
Totally. That was like my middle school and high school.
But he said, fuck the pen, let me use my finger.
Well, let me he said, fuck the finger. Let me use something else.
You know you like it.
Too graphic. Luckily, we do have a video podcast.
It's like, Jeremy, you know this game is E for everyone, right?
Make sure you just blur,
erection.
just blur Mike out.
Oh,
Yeah. I took it there, man.
okay.
blur that finger out.
Yeah, I know, right?
But which one?
Oh!
Mike likes the finger.
The thumb.
Oh my god. Alrighty. So what do you guys think about the light? Will you guys be purchasing it? I mean, I didn't think about that. How like if you want a game for the Switch and whose phone is that?
That's his.
If you want a game for the Switch and you
And
can't
me.
afford the $300 version, but like $200 is more manageable. It's lighter, it lasts longer, so it's more of like a portable device where you can take it on an airplane
You're right.
and hope that your flight doesn't fall 100 feet out of the air. And
But I mean,
Land in
I
Hawaii.
even feel like it's made for the people that are DS players because now it's an upgrade
Okay.
to your DS.
Yeah.
True.
You know, like
Right.
people that are like, hey, I don't really play at home, but I'm always on the go.
Yeah.
But I don't want to spend $350 to buy the regular Nintendo
Yeah.
Switch. Let's get this one for the $200. You know.
what if the light games are cheaper? That'd be kind of cool too. I mean, that would make no sense because
Well,
it's the same
I'm
game.
guessing
Yeah. Let's just
But-
take that question back.
Yeah,
Probably could be downloadable.
If I could, I would just take your
They
microphone.
are
away,
downloadable.
too.
Oh, there.
You can
Oh, that's
just
good.
give it to me. Thank you.
The microphone.
Well, no one wants that. no one wants that. I can ask stupid questions. No one wants that. But yeah, I mean, I won't buy it because I have the regular Switch, and that's just like a crazy amount of money to invest on the same platform.
Right.
But I see how it has a market now for sure. Like people who wouldn't invest the money in a regular Switch would, cough up the 200. So that's kind of cool.
Because it's actually not that bad. Because I mean, back then the new Nintendo DS was like $200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Nintendo doesn't think it's gonna be competition, for themselves, like because it's almost like merging down from, Nintendo Switch.
But now it's
to,
more
Oh, right,
affordable.
right.
It's almost like how they do iPhones, how they make the cheap iPhone for
Right.
people that can't afford the regular price
Wow.
iPhone, you know?
Yeah.
Dude,
So
that
it's just
is such
another
a good
option.
example.
Just a
You're
another
coming with the
option.
heavy hitters
So
today,
smart.
Oh, sorry.
So smart.
I
Sorry.
know.
bro.
He took his
Damn.
smart pills today.
Yeah, it was not the fucking. What were you drinking it last time?
He
The
wasn't
hard.
drinking. He's not
the
drinking
hard,
today.
Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Mike's hard.
Yeah, Mike's hard.
Yeah.
Brandon, sponsored by
Right now.
Mike's hard.
He said where?
Alcoholics.
What is he
Uh,
smiling about so much?
Dude, who knows? I think that he's just happy to be here. Maybe.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
I'm finally let into the cool guys table.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
2 tables.
He's
It's
been
the cool
waiting.
guys tables
Two
and
tables.
gals
Table.
and gal.
And
Cool
gal.
gal.
no, she a homie
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool homies.
All right. You guys
Okay.
good?
Yeah.
That's good.
Good
I
time.
think it's good. All right.
Good
So thank you guys for tuning in to episode 3 of MetaTalk podcast. Quincy, Mike, Brandon, Kari, and Jeremy this
Brandon,
time, even
third
though he's
person.
canceled.
Cancel.
Check out our other podcasts and our website at metahumanent.com. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
And don't forget to stream us on Spotify, iTunes, and
YouTube.
YouTube.
All right. Peace late.
See ya.
Bye.
Gang, gang.